Welcome to Transcending Sport, the programme in which we feature women who, after a notable athletic career, are making a significant contribution to the wider sports world in a variety of roles. I'm Chris Stafford. My guest today is former Olympian Isabelle Charest, who has just been named as the Canadian chef de mission for the 2018 Winter Olympic Games. Isabelle is a three-time Olympic medalist at short track speed skating, and she joined the national team back in 1988 and then began her rise on the international scene in the early 90s. She made her Olympic debut at Lillehammer in 1994, winning silver as part of the 3,000-metre relay. She followed that with appearances at Nagano in 1998 and then Salt Lake City in 2002, winning a pair of bronze medals with the 3,000-metre relay. At the latter, she recorded her best individual Olympic result, placing fourth in the 500 metres. Isabelle has also enjoyed plenty of success outside of the Olympic Games. She was named Canada's Female Short Track Skater of the Year 3 straight years, from 95 to 97. In March 96, she broke the 500-metre world record for the first time, en route to winning World Championship gold in the event. Combined with her bronze medal in the 1,000-metre, she claimed the overall World Championship bronze. In March 1997, she became the first woman to break the 45-second barrier in the event, setting the world record at 44.867, a record that she held for a year and a half. Isabelle has also won 3 world titles in the 3,000-metre relay in 93, 94 and 97, as well as 2 world bronze medals in 95 and 2000. She was inducted into the Speed Skating Canada's Hall of Fame in 1997. And off the ice, Isabelle has valuable experience as an Olympic leader too. She served as assistant chef de mission at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games, where Team Canada delivered an historic performance matching the country's best ever medal count in a non-boycotted Summer Games. Earlier that year, she was Canada's chef de mission at the Lillehammer 2016 Winter Youth Olympic Games, and she was also on the mission team at the London 2012 Olympic Games. Welcome to the programme, Isabelle.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, congratulations on being nominated for this position. It's quite a prestigious one, but possibly not too surprising given what you've been doing off the ice, though, in this administrative position. What was your reaction when you were told that you would be going to Pyeongchang as the chef de mission?
I was pleased, of course. It is a prestigious position in Canada because this position is assumed by Olympians, ex-Olympians that have had tremendous results in their sporting career, but also that are like amazing role models and ambassadors for the sport. So it was a privilege and an honor to be named chef de mission for the Canadian team.
I'm sure, and so much preparation now, just a year away before everyone goes to Korea for that. But I want to talk a little bit about how you've transitioned from your athletic career, Isabelle, to being in administration and playing the roles that you have done. But first of all, before I do that, tell us what you do in your real job now. What is life like when you're not being a chef de mission?
Well, at first I'm a mom. I have a son and a daughter that are 11 and 7 years old. And I also work in communication for a school board back in Granby, a small city where we manage 43 schools. So I take care of all the communication aspects for them.
Right. So how did that come about then? Or what made you go into that work? I mean, I'm interested in how women do get from their athletic career, what they decide to do next, and how they find a new role in life.
I've always been interested in communications, whether it was in sports or in other aspects. Actually, I did my schooling in nutrition, and maybe thinking that one day I would do nutritional communication. And it just turned out that I had the opportunity to come and work for a school board in the little city I was living in. So it was a good opportunity for me to be close to my family. in a field that I like, and working with young students, and that was a good fit for me. So that's why I took that job. But I've always been involved in sports. I either worked for the Canadian Olympic Committee a few years ago, or been involved in volunteer work, coaching, or being on boards and stuff like that. So I've always been close to the sports community ever since I retired.
Well, let's take you all the way back, because it was the 80s, wasn't it, when you actually made the national team? So that's quite a lengthy career. When you look back at how you got into the sport, how has the sport changed and evolved over time, Isabelle?
I come from a sport that's really young, but also that was, I think that was, there was a big equity for men and women. We had the same amount of female skaters and male skaters. So for me, it was it's always been equal. But I guess coming more in the sport community, in the world sport community, I realized that it's not the same with other sports, and it's not the same with other countries. So I think we've made some progress. It's getting better. In Canada, our president of the Olympic Committee is a woman, and we have a lot of women on the board as well, on the board of directors. So Canada is a leader in that aspect, with having women involved in sport. And but I know that we still have a long way to go before it's equal. But we're going on that way, I think. When
you were actually busy skating, what was it that you thought you might like to do once your career had ended?
Like I said, communication was a field that was attracting me. I did do some schooling in communication in university while I was skating. And then I did my degree, my bachelor's degree in nutrition while I was skating as well. So I wanted to kind of combine the both fields. So this was something I was thinking I was going to be doing. I knew that somehow I would still be involved in sport and be around sports. I didn't know exactly how this would translate, but I knew that I was not going to retire from sport entirely. I was going to retire as an athlete, but not go away from that aspect of my life that was so important.
Yes, of course. Well, obviously you have found a second and third career even in sport. So what is it that you most enjoy about this side of your career, and what is it you feel that you can bring to it that you most enjoy and would want to be your legacy?
I think I was in my sporting career, I was very privileged to always have a group of people that were either coaches or teammates or team leaders or volunteers that were involved, that were very generous of their time and their energy and their teaching skills that has brought a lot to me. And I think it made me a better athlete. It made me a better person. And I think that with the experience I have as an athlete, but also as a woman and as a person, I think I can bring some of that experience to someone and have them benefit from what I've learned during all these years. So this is the kind of stuff I would like to bring. I really enjoy teamwork, and this is something I want to work with this Olympic team for Pyeongchang. I want to make sure that we do work as a team, and we bring the best environment possible for the athletes, for them to compete at their best and have the best performance that they can have.
Well, we all know that once you start a new role in sports administration, it's a gradual thing, and you've already served as an assistant chef at Rio and chef at the Lillehammer Winter Youth Games last year. And also in London, of course, you were on the mission team at the London Olympic Games. Mm-hmm. If anyone is listening to this Isabelle, that thinks, well, this really seems like a fun thing to do once I give up my athletic career. What sort of qualities do you think a woman needs for this? And is it something that, you know, women need to focus on because often it's a male-dominated position or world, if you like, of sports administration?
I think we do need some women involved in the sporting administrative position. I think, like I said, in Canada we're lucky because we do have a lot of women involved, and in coaching we still need to have some effort in that and give opportunities for women to have coaching position, interesting coaching position. But yes, it is, like you said, something very fun to do and very interesting and very fulfilling. And I would absolutely encourage female athletes to stay involved in the sporting world after they're done their athletic career, for sure.
Well, I guess they're going to be wondering, okay, well, what does the role involve? You talk about the different aspects that you enjoy, but if you had to list those job specifications, what you're most responsible for as chef de mission of a Canadian team, with so many athletes from different sports too, not just your own sport, what would you say they would be?
Well, in Canada, the chef de mission's role is basically to be the spokesperson of the delegation of the entire team, but also to bring the athlete perspective in all the decision making process, to always keep in mind what's the best decision that could impact the performance of the athletes in a positive way. We also act as mentor for the athletes, but also for the mission staff and for the support staff. So we're kind of a reference because we've been there, because we have the experience, and we're there to support the team and to cheer for them and to, like I said, bring that dimension or that perspective that we've experienced a few times for me, and to be kind of a resource for the athletes and for the entire team. To bring the best conditions for the athletes, for them to perform well.
Absolutely. Well, as you said, that you've done this a few times before, and you know when you first go into an Olympic Games, it's a very different world and competition to being maybe on a world championship or a regional championship or something like that. So it's transitioning them, I guess, preparing them for those big occasions too.
Oh, absolutely. I think we do a good job of making sure that the athletes feel that they're part of this big team, this big family. The Olympics are very different in the sense that it's a multidiscipline event. So you don't go to this competition on your own, representing your country and with nobody around you. You go as a team with other teammates that strive for the same goal as you. So we want to make sure that everybody works together and bring that energy and that support system, and so we have great performances. So it is an aspect that's very interesting to see how the other athletes interact together. But also, like I said, for me, it's really important to include the support staff and the COC staff as well. It's important for them to know each other and to work well together.
And of course, going into Pyeongchang in South Korea is going to be very different. Each Olympic Games has new challenges, of course, with the culture and the environment that you're working in, and the competition structure as well. In a different country, this is going to be very different. Have you been down there to South Korea yet, Isabelle?
I haven't been myself there, but our directing team has been there quite a few times already. They started preparing for these games like 5 years ago, so they're very aware of everything that's going on, and they make sure that they can provide with a good environment, like I said, for the athletes to have their best performance. So they do take in account all these aspects, like the food, the transportation, the different cultures, to make sure that the athletes feel comfortable and they feel they can perform well.
What are you most looking forward to about these specific games in an Asian country, in South Korea, which is, as we said, going to be very different? Are there any aspects of that you're already excited about as part of this journey?
It's for the athletes. Some of the athletes are going to have only one Olympic game. So whether it's in Asia or in South America, or it doesn't really make a difference. It's their one chance to have the performance of their life. So, like for us, we prepare. Of course, we take in account like all the specifics of the games, but we prepare for the games like as Olympic games. But of course, every games are unique and bring something different. And being in South Korea for me is going to be very interesting because my sport was short track speed skating. It's a sport that they really much appreciate in South Korea. So it's going to be interesting to see how enthusiastic they are about that sport. But like I said, like for us, we prepare for each games pretty much the same way. We just want to perform as good as we can.
Absolutely. And I wonder, do you still skate, Isabelle?
I don't speed skate. I skate. My son plays hockey, and we have an outside rink home on the lake. So I skate with my hockey skates, but I don't speed skate anymore.
You haven't started racing with your children yet, then?
Oh, I have, of course, I have on hockey skates.
On the hockey skates. Well, finally, let me ask you, Isabelle, what do you most value about being involved with sport?
Yeah, I think it's that pursuit of excellence and never give up and to fight back when you have disappointment. It has been very helpful in my life. And like the determination and the resilience, and this is some values I want to transmit to my kids, and I think sports is very valuable for that, and this is for me a main theme.
And my final question is, looking at your athletic career and now your career in sports administration, what would you consider to be your 3 career highlights, Isabelle?
That's a very good question. It's never something I would put in priority. It really depends on where I am in my life. It can be like very small details that are so important for me. Today, the one person that announced my nomination as chef de mission was Nathalie Lambert. She was my teammate, but she's also she was a coach at one point. She's a very good friend. It was very significant that Nathalie was announcing me today. So this is something that I cherish from my athletic career. Of course, I have the medals, but I think it's just everything put together that makes me who I am now, and that's what I cherish the most.
Wonderful. Well, it's been a very successful career from your athletics career to what you're doing now, an ideal transition, and on you go up to being the chef de mission, as you say, for Pyeongchang, the Winter Olympic Games next year. I want to thank you very much indeed for coming on the programme again. Congratulations on this role and continued success in the sport and the wider Canadian sports world.
Thank you very much.
And you'll find more conversations around the world of women's sports on our website at wispsports.com, as well as videos, blogs, articles and news. And you can also join in the conversation by following us on social media at Wisp Sports. And if you have any comments, questions or suggestions about our programming, please email info@wispsports.com. Until the next time, thank you for listening to Wisp Sports Radio.